Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, December 6th. We have all you need to know about the recent COVID spike in Center County, as well as details on a fatal crash in downtown State College.
We also have more on Penn State's decision for next semester's COVID guidelines, along with entertainment, sports, and weather.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Hannah Markovich.
And I'm Carly Knowlton.
Mount Nittany Medical Center is expected to see extraordinary measures continue amid the COVID-19 surge. According to Mount Nittany officials, the medical center's emergency department began accepting ambulances again on Friday morning after diverting emergency patients on days prior. Dr. Upendra Thakur, the hospital's chief medical officer, warned in a statement on Friday that he and other Mount Nittany officials have been sounding for months due to increasing COVID transmission levels, leading to more hospitalizations. For now, all elective surgeries requiring an overnight inpatient stay at Mount Nittany may be postponed. Officials are continuing to urge community members to get vaccinated, social distance, avoid large gatherings, wear a mask in public indoor spaces, and wash their hands frequently.
Penn State announced that the university will be extending its indoor mask mandate into the spring 2022 semester. The mandate requires all individuals, regardless of vaccination status, must wear face masks inside all campus buildings. This includes classrooms, dining halls, and indoor sports venues, as well as on public transportation. In their statement released Friday, the university stated that, quote, university officials will continue to monitor the evolution of the pandemic and the spread of various coronavirus variants and will adjust Penn State's masking policy when it is safe to do so, end quote.
A Howard man pled guilty on Thursday in connection with a fatal vehicle pedestrian crash last year in downtown Bellefonte. Investigators say 37-year-old Brandon Dietz struck 36-year-old Stephanie Wilson with his 2007 Dodge Ram pickup truck on July 22, 2020. Wilson was crossing West High Street near the intersection of North Allegheny Street. Dietz pled guilty to one misdemeanor count of accident involving death. A felony charge was dropped as part of the plea. Dietz was not under the influence of alcohol or drugs and was not charged with careless driving. His sentencing is scheduled for February 1st and plans to seek a sentence of 90 days to 1 year in jail.
State College announced Friday the upcoming downtown road closure of New Alley between Burroughs Road and Crescent Alley. The Alexander Building Construction Company will occupy the road for crane setup and lifting between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. starting Monday, December 6th through Friday, December 10th. The borough has advised motorists and pedestrians to use caution when traveling near the area throughout the week and stated that anyone with questions should contact Alexander Building Construction. As we've entered the holiday season, many students are celebrating on campus. Field reporter Tim Rogers walks you through how students are celebrating Hanukkah at Penn State.
Ending tonight, many Penn State students had to enjoy the holiday without their families for the first time, as last semester, students were home for the holidays due to COVID-19. Zach Lovovitz, a second-year Jewish student at Penn State, said that there was a huge transition period for him as he was not with his family members and didn't feel that holiday spirit being away from him.
I feel more part of it at home, celebrating as a family and going through tradition, seeing more relatives and both sides of the family.
However, Sarah Strent, the president of Shabbat, has an answer to those who feel alone for Hanukkah and the other Jewish holidays.
Chabad is basically a Jewish organization on campus, and it's run by Chabad, which is an Orthodox Jewish group, and we basically just have events, we have weekly dinners, we have learning groups, we have all sorts of events for all kinds of Jews, and everyone is always welcome. It's like a home away from home is what I always like to call it. Like I said, it's really a home away from home. It's a place that all Jews are invited to come for dinners, for events, and so as long as you're Jewish, even if you're not Jewish, if you're interested, we welcome everybody. And we put flyers out on our Instagram page, on social media, asking people or encouraging people to come to events. And
If any of you are Jewish and are continuing to celebrate these Jewish holidays and are looking to join a club to not be alone during these Jewish holidays, please check out PS Jews on their website and on their Instagram page. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For Penn State Network News, I'm Tim Rogers.
Now that December is here, weather has been a little all over the place. Chris Lemo has this week's weather report after the break.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I've just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
All right, you ready for some?
Thanks, Carly. Well, you can see here, tonight's going to be a lot cooler than what we've seen over the last 24 hours. Today, we had it really warm, up into the 50s, but we had that cold front with all the rain moved through. Now it's going to be pretty windy and chilly tonight, around 27 and cloudy, winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if we had some gusts up to 20, maybe even 25 overnight. So you're definitely going to hear that as you're going to sleep tonight. Now, looking at tomorrow at your out-the-door forecast, we should stay pretty warm tomorrow, or excuse me, we should stay pretty cold tomorrow. Around 26 in the morning at 9 a.m., you're going to want to layer up walking to class. It's going to feel like a shock compared to what we had this morning going to class. As you get into the noon hours, not a lot warmer. 31 degrees, the clouds start building in a bit more. We're going to see on and off peaks of sun and clouds tomorrow, as you can see around 3 o'clock for the afternoon evening time frame. Some more sun and around 32 degrees as we get back to the freezing mark. But overall, cooler than average tomorrow, and that'll be the theme for the early part of the week. Now, looking at the weekend, you can kind of see that we're going to see a storm cutting up to the west Friday and Saturday. The low pressure will track over around Chicago and Milwaukee. That'll leave us into the warm sector. So we're not going to see any snow out of that. We're going to see a lot of rain and much warmer temperatures, probably back into the 50s at some point during the weekend. That front will move through and it'll be cooler towards the back end of the weekend on Sunday. But overall, kind of a rainy weekend, not great for a lot of outdoor activities. Now, taking a look at the 7-day forecast, you're going to see it's a lot cooler early in the week. In the 30s, 31 tomorrow, 33 on Wednesday. You can see the little snow icon. I don't think we're going to pick up too much in the way of accumulation, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But we're going to see some good mood flakes, so maybe crank up that Christmas music as you get ready for the holiday break here. Now, Thursday into Friday, slightly warmer, and then you can see for the weekend, a lot warmer. 55 on Saturday as we get into the warm sector of that storm. Rain into Saturday, overnight Saturday, and into Sunday morning. And then we start to cool things down once again as we head into finals week here at Penn State. But overall, not a bad weekend to just stay inside, maybe watch some sports. And speaking of sports, coming up next, Brooke Stake has the latest on all stories Penn State sports.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I've just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia? Let's do it. What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues? 7 no-hitters in 1990. Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer? 3 out of 4. 75%. That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at Beat.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Brooke Stake with your sports update. Penn State football announced its designated bowl game on Sunday. The Nittany Lions are headed to the Outback Bowl, held at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. The team will face the Arkansas Razorbacks on New Year's Day, kicking off at noon on ESPN2. This will be the first ever meeting between the two programs, and this is the fourth time Penn State is heading to the Outback Bowl, with the last time being in 2010. The trip marks Penn State's 51st all-time bowl appearance. Penn State men's hockey hosted Michigan State for a 2-game series at Pagula Ice Arena this past week. The Nittany Lions defeated the Spartans 4-2 on Friday, with goals from Christian Sarlo, Ryan Kerwin, Tyler Gratton, and Connor McEachran. Heading into Saturday, the team fell in a close game 4-3 during their annual Teddy Bear Toss. Penn State will be back in action this weekend on the road for another Big Ten matchup as they face Wisconsin in a 2-game series in Madison. Puck drop is at 8 p.m. on Friday and 7 p.m. on Saturday. Major League Baseball started its lockout last Wednesday in what was the first lockout of the league since 1994. During the lockout, no free agents can sign to MLB rosters and no trades can be made, and no players can take part in team activities. Players are also not allowed to use team facilities, meaning they have to train privately during the off-season. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred and the MLB Players Association will now try to work together to reach an agreement. There is no timetable for when the two sides will reach a deal. That's all for sports. After the break, Jimmy Atkinson will bring you the latest in the world of entertainment.
Thank you.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need
Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I've just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia? Let's do it. What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues? 7 no-hitters in 1990. Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer? 3 out of 4. 75%. That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jimmy Atkinson with your entertainment update. Penn State Center Stage opened their latest production on Friday, performing Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Pavilion Theater on campus. The Bard's classic rom-com is being presented in an open stage style, as director Sam Osheroff aims to take an experimental approach and bring the audience closer to the action. The show runs nightly at 7:30 p.m. until December 9th, and tickets can be purchased for $25 or $12.50 for students. The Hub Robeson Center Alumni Hall hosted rapper Young Gravy on Thursday in a free concert presented by the Student Programming Association, also known as SPA. It was a packed house for the up-and-coming artist, and he clearly had fun with it, tossing Lunchables and Lucky Charms into the crowd. The Wisconsin grad said he holds a lot of love for PSU, saying that not only do Penn Staters, quote, throw good hands, but also that we, quote, get lit on Thursdays, end quote. Justin Bieber hit the stage in Jeddah on Sunday, despite widespread campaigning against the superstar's appearance in Saudi Arabia. Calls for Bieber to cancel the event included ads from the Human Rights Foundation and an open letter from widowed fiancé Hatice Cengiz, whose husband Jamal Khashoggi was murdered by the bin Salman regime in 2018. Bieber's performance there coincides with Formula One racing's Grand Prix, which has similarly met backlash for its association with Saudi Arabia. That's all for your entertainment update. After the break, we have the latest stories from across the nation.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need
Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I've just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia? Let's do it. What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues? 7 no-hitters in 1990. Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer? 3 out of 4. 75%? That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander.
After an hours-long manhunt, the Oxford, Michigan school shooting suspect's parents were arrested Saturday. The couple was obtained in an industrial building in Detroit after failing to show up for a Friday arraignment. Jennifer and James Crumbley pled not guilty, but ultimately were charged with involuntary manslaughter during an arraignment Saturday. Their attorneys maintained the statement that the Crumbleys were planning to turn themselves into authorities before apprehended. The 15-year-old suspect, Ethan Crumbley, was accused of killing 4 students at Oxford High School and charged as an adult with 4 counts of first-degree murder and terrorism, among other charges. He remains in isolation, and Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard believes Ethan is unaware of his parents' arrests.
President Biden has announced new actions to protect Americans against the Delta and Omicron COVID-19 variants as we head into the winter months. The Biden administration is confident that the U.S. has the public health tools needed to continue the fight this virus without shutting down schools and businesses. Biden's plan to fight the COVID-19 variants while encouraging economic growth includes encouraging booster shots for all adults and stronger public health protocols for safe international travel. It also includes supplying treatment pills to help prevent hospitalizations and death, protections in workplaces to keep our economy open, and more. Biden's detailed plan, as announced on December 2nd, aims to be proactive in dealing with the variants and emphasizes keeping schools open as well as avoid an economic downturn.
CNN said on Saturday anchor Chris Cuomo has been terminated by the network effective immediately. The announcement came after an outside law firm was retained to review information about how he aided his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, when the then governor was accused of sexual assault. The cozy and improper nature of the relationship was conveyed through text messages obtained by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Cuomo pointed out that he never reported on the sexual harassment scandal or tried to interfere in CNN's coverage. With information in the text and documents pointing to a serious breach of CNN standards, Cuomo was notified of his termination on Saturday.
A blizzard warning has been put into effect for Hawaii's Big Island mountain summits. The warning only applies to Hawaii's two tallest peaks, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. The National Weather Service reported Saturday that at least 12 inches of snow are expected to fall in the region this weekend, along with expected wind gusts of 100 miles per hour. Their prediction center says it's common to see snow above 11,000 feet in Hawaii during this time of year, but warned against travel in the areas, stating that it would be very difficult to see due to expected whiteout conditions. The National Weather Service stated, quote, "Blowing snow will significantly reduce visibility at times, with periods of zero visibility," end quote. The warning will remain in place until at least early Sunday morning. And that's all for tonight on PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.